Now, this year has been a busy start for a few different reasons, but I wanted to take a few moments just to put some content out here to help us all. One of the reasons is that last night during a webinar I was presenting in the US, then one of the conversation points that came up again I think is an incredibly pertinent one, and it's around conscious decisions. That importance of making small conscious decisions all the time that move things forward, that move the business forward. Not leaving things to work themselves out in the wash or anything like that, but making very specific conscious decisions to see things continue to move forward. Whether that be a yes or a no, but to do it consciously. So that's my first piece of advice for each of us, myself included, is to keep making and identifying those conscious decisions that move things forward to the goals that we have together. And the other is around community and family. You see, in business and in life, it's incredibly important to identify, to nurture those relationships, both professionally and personally. And so I encourage each of us to look around the community that we have professionally and also within our families and wider circles to nurture those relationships and to build and enhance those to the very best that we can as well. They really do matter, those sorts of relationships. Now, what I also wanted to do was to take a little bit of time by looking back into LinkedIn recently. Apologies, I've been a little bit quiet over the last few weeks, but I've noticed some really good stuff coming out. Now, I haven't got time to curate all of that, but there's half a dozen that I wanted just to highlight. The first of those was from Will Farnell. Now, I've put links for all of these in the thread below, but from Will Farnell Clark, one of the things that I found really exciting that he's doing with his team at Farnell Clark at the moment is ditching the 37.5 hours a week. For the business. That's it, ditching the 37.5 hours a week. Now, there are some people in the threads on what you'll see below for Will's comments there and his article that were amazed that they were only doing 37 hours a week in the first place. But the really exciting part is around actually that continual shift towards productivity focus rather than looking towards the hours that are being input and changing the culture of the firm to suit that. So I encourage you to read Will's points there, have a look at the conversations in the thread and consider for your own firms as well what that might look like. Certainly an exciting thing to watch with Will. Amanda Watts, a great friend, has been putting together some other good content, and again this time a video around the importance of differentiation and the simple tips for achieving this in a productive way, both in terms of the focus and the service delivery that you may have as a firm, but also around some of the marketing ideas. So I've put a link to her video in the comments below as well. I suggest that you take a few minutes to have a look at that. It's worthwhile visiting, particularly the importance of removing some more of that generic marketing that doesn't particularly serve in many situations. James Ashford speaks really well at the moment around managing client expectations. I really enjoyed his article that I was catching up on. So I've put a link to that below and what they're doing there. In fact, I'm running a recording with Jennifer Brazier at Complete Controller on Friday this week, where we're speaking about a very similar topic about leading the client, or leading the charge as Jennifer describes it. And they're doing some exceedingly good work there in the US with Complete Controller. So I'll post that video up in the not too distant future, I hope. Karen Rayburn, great to see you, Karen, at Accounting Live a couple of months ago now up in Scotland, and have a lot of fun together. And what I liked about what you shared was highlighting some of the success that Brad Smith from Intuit has had, and Alex Davis, thanks for sharing that initial post yourself. And in sharing that, it was making sure that the whole team remember the game plan and objectives, and then can easily remember and repeat it to others. So repeating the prayer is what Brad Smith used. Read the article, it'll make more sense when you see it there, but it's a great point about everybody being on page and being able to easily remember and repeat the points and the objectives to others as well. Dawn Brolin, again, I love reading what Dawn comes up with and talking to her when we do catch up. And she's put together a really interesting article, I think, around the importance of mentoring millennials. So for those of you with staff, again, thinking about Karen Rayburn's point a moment ago, but also thinking about Dawn here and the importance of mentoring millennials to get the very best from them. And that's just in terms of growing the right thinking and getting the right talent to come out of the person themselves, but then also that co-working alongside the technology solutions. And so again, some interesting thoughts in the articles beneath. And then Mark Lee, I really enjoyed the more light-hearted view on the use of business cards. And so if you wanted to have a look at Mark's article and the threads and comments around that, you're welcome to do so below. There's tons of really good stuff. If there's anything else that you think we should all be looking at or reading at this stage, halfway through January, I'd love to see it and share it amongst us all. Thanks again, folks. Whatever happens, have a great January, and we'll speak again soon. Take care.